Well, good morning, everyone. This is Lynn Schrader, and we are happy today to bring you an update from Delta Dental. And we felt it was really important. As you guys know, during the fall, we really cram with our medical carriers and giving updates and whatnot. But now is a great time to make sure that we're looking at all of our ancillary carriers. And Delta Dental, of course, is one of our big partners, and we're so happy to have them. Courtney Kaler is our person that supports KHI and all of our agents. She is the individual and small group sales manager for Delta Dental. And they define small group, by the way, you guys, as under 100 lives. So if you've got anything that's 100 or more, many of you have worked with David Zahn. Just get a hold of us in our office and we can connect you to David if you've got an opportunity that's 100 or more. But today we're really going to talk about the updates at Delta Dental with individual and small group. And so as always, we'll record this presentation and put it out on our secure portal, and we'll ask you for your questions at the end, but feel free to type them anytime. In addition, we do have a handout we'll be talking about later that you can download during the presentation as well when Courtney talks about it. So, okay, Courtney, let me turn it over to you. Thanks so much for joining us, and it's all yours.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Lynn. Good morning, everyone. I am very excited to be here today with Team KHI, so thank you again for your time. Our goal, or my goal here this morning, is really to simplify both our dental and vision plans. Some of the feedback we've gotten is that that would be helpful and useful for our brokers. So that is one of my key goals here. And as I go through the presentation, as Lynn mentioned, please ask any questions and then we will answer them, or I will do my best to answer them, of course, at the end of the presentation. And then I would like to highlight a few tools that we have on our website and also brochures available for you that can hopefully make your jobs easier and put some extra money in your pocket. So that's another goal. So thank you again, and I'll get started here. All right, starting with our 2019 individual and family overview plans, or those plans, you'll see that there were no changes this year in terms of our plan design. Also, there was a 3% overall rate increase on our individual plans. And then we also have or provided easy online enrollment or customized agent URLs for you. You've probably seen them come across for the individual products as well as the Farm Bureau, which I will get into in just a moment here. And I will also show you at the end of this presentation what that looks like. But something else we'd like you to keep in mind is that we do grant credit towards our waiting periods, and this is based on prior like coverage within the last 60 days. So hopefully many of you are aware of that. Taking a deeper look at our competition here, you can see on this slide that we compare our waiting periods to the waiting periods of Blue Dental, and you will see it's broken down by categories here. So for routine and restorative, we do not have any waiting periods on our preferred or platinum plans, where the comparable plans on Blue Dental, they do require a 6-month waiting period. And then on the endo and perio categories, we have a 6-month waiting period, while Blue Dental has a 12-month waiting period. And then we pretty much have similar waiting periods, of course, with a year on the major restorative and the prosthodontics. Now, keep in mind again that they do not grant credit towards their waiting periods, but this is a nice reference in case you're looking at the two, or group is evaluating, the individual is evaluating the different waiting periods. This is a nice reference slide that, as Lynn mentioned, you will have available. So let's take a look at our Farm Bureau member individual plans. Those launched in December, I believe, so not too long ago. And we do have the personalized agent URLs available as well. In terms of these member plans, any licensed agent can sell these plans to members. And this plan is based on our PPO plus Premier Preferred Prime plan. There's a lot of P's in there, I know. So it's our Prime plan. is the key thing there. And then our network is the PPO Plus Premier Network. So with this plan, our rates are 6% lower than the non-Farm Bureau member rate. So that's a pretty good discount there. So you'll want to keep that in mind. And then our vision plan is totally unique as well. And so the individual vision plan cannot be offered anywhere else. It's specific to Farm Bureau. And it can also be purchased along with the dental plan. Something to keep in mind is that this vision plan cannot be sold solo or alone without the dental plan. So that is something to keep in mind. At the bottom of the slide, you can see that the application is online, or you can use that personalized URL that you should have available as well. Okay, so on this dental plan, you'll see that it is very similar to our it is the preferred individual plan that we currently have. And then that holds a $1,000 annual benefit maximum. And there is no out-of-pocket cost for the diagnostic and preventative services. So that's nice. And there's no waiting period for the routine and restorative as well. And then, of course, the waiting periods will come into place as well. The rates for this plan are $37 per adult and then $28.50 per child. And then on our vision plan, this is our $10 copay plan, the Insight Preferred. And as I mentioned, it's only available when the dental plan is purchased. And the exam is every calendar year. So that's one thing that's really nice about our Insight plans is they are focused on the calendar year and not the date of service. Our access plans are focused on that date of service. So that's another thing you might want to keep in mind. Let's see, our lenses are every calendar year for contacts or eyeglasses, and there's a $10 copay, as I mentioned also. The frames are available every 2 years, and there is a $130 allowance, and then a 20% discount on the remainder of the balance. And I was just going to mention also there's a 40% discount on any additional pair of full glasses. And then it also includes a hearing discount on that plan also at no extra cost. Okay, so then I was just going to touch on our networks. Let's see, there are about 3 out of 4 dentists nationwide that do participate in our networks. And then 90% of Iowa dentists are within that Premier network. And it says 40 on this slide, but there's about 45% of Iowa dentists now within our PPO network. Here's just a visual of our networks, and it shows you in the gray area the percent of out-of-network dentists, which is very minimal, as you can see. And then in the green, you can see it's the majority within our Premier network, and then the PPO at the 45%. And then the next few slides just break down by Iowa how many dentists are within each network roughly. So for the PPO, we're looking at almost 700 Iowa dentists that participate. For the Premier, almost 1,500. And then within this slide just highlights the PPO plus Premier network, which provides more savings and more choice than just the Premier alone. The key here or takeaway that I wanted to mention is that if you have a new small group, ideally, typically, you're going to want to lead with the PPO plus Premier network because it's going to provide them with more options in terms of providers and dentists. Also, it will provide steeper discounts. However, that said, there are just a few places within Iowa where the Premier network would be a better bet. For example, Iowa City. In that area, we have a lot more Premier dentists than we do PPO. So in that case, you would want to go with the Premier network. Now, you're probably thinking, where can I find this information or how do I know? On our website, which I will show you in a little bit here, I will show you how you can find a provider or a list of providers by zip code. So that only takes, I can do it in about a minute or so it won't take long, but that way you can see what that group has available by zip code. Okay, let's take a look at our small group, an overview of our 2019 changes. There was a 2% rate increase overall. We also received feedback from our brokers that it would be nice if we simplified and kind of got rid of, if you will, some of our plans. So that's what we did. We kept 22 plans this year, and then we discontinued and crosswalked 25 plans. And by crosswalked, I'll show you what that means in just a second here. But we also have new rate options this year that you're probably aware of. We're still keeping our per person rates, but also we did bring back our 4-tier rates that are available for all groups, for both new groups and then 2019 renewals. So especially for those groups that have more enrolled or bigger groups, that 4-tier rate can really be a great option. Okay, on this slide, you can see here on the left-hand side, we have our employer choice plans. Those are the plans you'll want to focus on if the group is, or the employer is contributing. On the right-hand side in blue, you'll see the employee choice plans, and those are our voluntary plans. So in the green here, the employer choice plans, our best sellers are actually the Plan B and Plan C. So I usually recommend that brokers start there with those plans. You can see the ABM on Plan C is 1,000, Plan B is 2,000. The great thing about these two plans, or why they are very popular, is because the basic services such as exams and cleanings, the member will not pay out of pocket at all. There is no co-insurance. So that's something to keep in mind as well. For Plan A, that's a nice option because it does go middle of the road there and splits that ABM in half at $1,500. But the thing is, you'll want to keep in mind is that for those exams and cleanings, they will pay 20%, for example, on the PPO plus Premier network. So if your group would rather not have the member pay for those DMP services, you definitely want to take a good look at that Plan B or Plan C. On the employee choice plans, you can see here there's a few options or levels, preventative being the lowest amount of benefits, preferred, and then the platinum being the highest with an ABM of 2,000. Couple things that I get questions on frequently with these plans. You will notice that these plans do not include ortho. So if your group would like ortho, you're definitely going to want to go to the employer choice plans, either the A, B, or C. But since if it is a voluntary plan and they're not going to contribute, they can still get those employer choice plans. They're just going to pay the base rates, which are highest. So in our product guide, you'll see that's between 1 to 9 members. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the employee choice plans. I think that mainly covers it, but you'll just want to keep in mind that ortho is not an option. Oh, there was one more thing. On these plans, you can offer, or the group can offer and just show one of these plans. So I've had groups or brokers just offer the preferred and the platinum and not the preventative. So that's something to keep in mind. On our end, in our system, we will show in our system, we'll have to set up the group with all three, but you do not have to offer it to the groups or the members, all three plans, as it can get confusing for people, as you can imagine. So moving on, helpful tools for renewal. Here we do have a list of plans that we no longer offer. This is on our website, which I will show you. And then we also have a plan comparison chart for each of these plans as well, which comes in handy. And then we have our small group product guide, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. We have it online on our website if anybody doesn't have it available at this point. And then we have a rate structure form also available where you can submit that in case you would want to change your group, for example, to for the 4-tier rate instead of that per person. Here's a better look at our plan comparison charts. You can see here on the left-hand side, it shows the new 2019 plan that they will automatically be moving to. So within our system on that renewal date, they will automatically move to that plan unless you inform us that they are choosing another plan. And then on the right-hand side, you have the current plan that they are on for 2018, and it is a comparison. This is just a summary, so you'll want to keep in mind for more detailed information, you'll want to take a look at the benefit summaries, but this is a good summary and a helpful tool for you. Okay, Delta Vision, let's take a look at this. The network is a combination of independent providers and optical retailers as well. We do have online options. Those options are glasses.com and contactsdirect.com. If you do have a member, I've gotten this question before, who would like to use another online provider, if you will, they can use it, but they will be out of network. So that's the benefit level they'll be looking at. And we do have a claim form for an out of network service as well, services available. And then, of course, our employer connection combines the dental and vision administration also for seamless administration. Okay, so let's take a look at the Insight plan highlights for vision. This network is newer than the Access, and overall we found that it has more popular benefits. So that's why we're highlighting it here today. As I mentioned before, each exam is based on the calendar year, and the frames every two years, and then the lens once every calendar year as well. There's a 20% discount off any balance above the frame allowance, and then the 15% discount off any balance above the contact lens allowance. So our vision is based on a 2-year rate guarantee as well, and the rates overall are 10% lower than the Access network, and that's why, again, we wanted to take a stronger look at this today. This brochure, as you can see, it's only about half of the brochure, does include the rates at the bottom, but I really wanted to make sure, I'm finding that some brokers don't have this one available. It gives more detail and is, I think, a better, more useful tool than the vision page within our product guide. So this is available on our website. If you have a hard time finding it, please let me know, and I can easily get that over to you. But again, this is just focused on our Insight network plans. There's 2 pages on this. The first page is voluntary. The second page is contributory plans. And again, the rates are included at the bottom of each of the pages. A couple things that I wanted to highlight here is, although it looks like there's a lot of plans here, there's truly just 2 key plans here. You have your enhanced plan and then your preferred plan. So the difference here is the allowance. On the enhanced plan, you'll see an allowance here of $150 for your contact lenses and or your frames. And then on the preferred, the allowance is $130. So if they want to go on the lower end, save a little bit more money, you want to go with the preferred. If that's not the case, you'll want to go with the enhanced. In the white columns here, you can see these are the same plans, but they do not include the fit and follow-up. So the fit and follow-up supports that service up to $40. So that's nice if you have a group that does have a lot of folks who do have contacts, because a lot of times that service is needed and required by the provider. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. And then I just wanted to mention, I know it's Q1 here, so we're just getting started, but some people are not aware that we will send out mailings to your groups. We just need basically the company logo, the effective date, and the employee list, and we go ahead and can send those out for Q4. and it really helps sometimes bump up that enrollment, and it's completely complimentary. We do not charge for this service. I was going to mention as well that we have seen, when we've tracked the results here, about a 13% increase in growth within these groups who have utilized this option. Okay, so then that brings us to some new exciting news. It sounds like Lynn, you will be sharing this information very soon, but I know many of you are familiar with our insurance menu, which is our digital platform for enrolling small groups. So any small group with less than 50 or less than members can be enrolled directly through this online platform. And as long as they are, this promotion, or this spiff, if you will go from March 1st all the way until January of next year, and we will be tracking this as well and providing results for you on a quarterly basis. But we will be paying the brokers a bonus of $5 per subscriber per product line. So to give you an example, if you have a group that you sign up to Insurance Menu that has 10 members enrolled for both vision and dental, that would be $100. Now, we will pay that out after the 1st of next year. We don't have an exact date yet, but I will get that to you soon. But it's looking like mid-February when all the results are in. I wanted to show you, if I could here, one of the brochures on that. Let's see. I think I had it up here. Bear with me, I'm just going to pull it up. I thought I had it there. So here's the brochure on it, that if you haven't received yet, you will definitely get it very soon. Most of you are signed up, or the key folks at KHI who need access to enroll people, I believe, are signed up. If not, I will be working with KHI to make sure that you all get credit for what you send through the system. But we're very excited about that as well. So I wanted to show you that. And then,
hey, Courtney, I just wanted to jump in real quick.
Sure.
And just remind everyone that bonus program is 100% pass-through from KHI. There's nothing for us in this. This is all for you guys, and we'll obviously help you with that. The brochure is attached under your handouts here on the webinar, so they can download that, print that out. Because I love that you might even go back and just go through a scenario to make sure, when you said $5 per subscriber per product line, maybe walk through the potentials of how much they could make on a case.
Sure. Let me pull that up again.
I mean, we acknowledge, right, you guys, that dental, a lot of ancillary products, there's revenue there, but it's not as big as the medical revenue. We know that. But whenever there's a bonus program in place, that just helps, right? So I think, yeah, Courtney, if you don't mind going through it so they can see the opportunity that you have here.
Sure. So I just pulled this up. Hopefully you can all see it here. But for example, on this brochure on the left-hand side, as I mentioned, if you have 10 subscribers, and then again, it's a $5 payout per member or enrolled. So that's going to be $50. And let's see here, and it looks like, yeah, it's for either dental or vision. And then you can see on the right-hand side, that's where it kind of breaks down to, if they sell the dental and vision, it's going to be $100. For some of, I would say, just to give you an idea, I definitely have some brokers who probably bring through at least 5 a month of small group. Our average small group, the size, to give you an idea, is 8 to 10 members enrolled, at least initially when they sign up as a new group. So that I kind of keep that in mind as I give examples as well. But when you think about it, I mean, that could be $400 to $500 extra a month, and especially if you can get comfortable using the tool and automatically thinking, hey, I can make a few extra bucks, by the time Q3 and Q4 comes, when you're going to be busier, it will be much smoother. You'll be comfortable with the process. And I think people, I mean, can easily make, by the time 1/1 comes around, I'm expecting $2,000 to $3,000 checks for some agents as well. So just keep that in mind. Again, we'll make sure Lynn and I and your group work together to get everyone on board and comfortable with it. But if you need any more information offline, please don't hesitate to reach out to me because we are very excited about it. Okay. So I'm going to bring this down again and pull up where I was at. Okay, so I just have a couple more slides here. I wanted to touch base on our tools and resources, and I know this can be a little bit confusing as well. Team service is basically our customer service folks, and they're who you want to contact for enrollment maintenance, as well as billing or invoice questions. And then I will mention as well that emailing them is great, but our turnaround time can take around 5 business days, depending on the time of year. So I would suggest if you want some information right away, I would definitely call you or get someone live, and they're great and very helpful. But if you're like me and not very patient, and something is urgent and a group really or individual really needs some quick information, it would be worth the phone call. And then also for Team Renew, that's our team that produces your renewal. And also in terms of the renewals, if you have questions about the renewal itself or the plan design, anything like that, I would definitely still be your point of contact. But in terms of, can I get this renewal? Is it available yet? That type of thing, that would be through Team Renew.
Courtney, can you put that back in slide mode because it's small? I think you're not.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
You. And I might just bear with me here. There we go. I'm almost there. There we go.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, sure. And then finally, I just wanted to, before we get into questions, show some of our tools here I had up. So this is a view, or gives you a really good idea of what our personalized URLs look like. So you can see here I pulled up Brenda's, and this is what if you haven't seen it yet, your personalized URL will look like. And this is for your Farm Bureau plans here below, and then the individual dental enrollment as well. So if you click on, so this is when an individual, if you send this link to your URL to the individual, they can click on this, and then they can put in their Farm Bureau member number and their zip code, and that's how they can enroll. So I think it looks really clean, really nice, and so that's just another tool for you. The same goes for the individual URLs. You should have all received those. If you do have a hard time finding it again, or you did not see it on the spreadsheet, reach out to me and we can definitely get you one very quickly from our marketing team, and I can send it over. So don't hesitate on that.
Courtney, we actually, excuse me for interrupting, Erica can provide assistance for you guys if you don't have your URLs for either Farm Bureau or just the standalone dental plan, which is good for under or over 65, right? So that's always great to note in the individual market. And so to get this landing page, this is like a landing page, right? And so for you guys to get that, so it would have your name on it and your agency name and those links. This is what you can get, and Erica can help you get yours so that you get it. If you want to take that, then you can put it on your website, or as Courtney said, you can even attach it in an email you might be sending out to somebody, that type of thing. So anyway, we can help you with that. And Courtney, I'm just going to ask them to get to Erica if they have questions on that versus calling you, because we've got that information and that's part of the service that we provide for you guys. So
okay,
yeah,
sounds good. Sounds great. All right, then I wanted to show also some tools on our website as well. So if you go into, on our website, you hover under agents when you get in there, you'll be able to click on the 2019 small group information. And here you can see we have a list of plans we no longer offer. the plan comparison charts. I'll click on that as it loads. So it has all of those for you as well, which is nice. Oops, what did I just do there? There we go. And then our rate structure form as well, that is available on here. We have your group here, a lot of forms here, which are great. The group application, the small group product guide, of course. Let's see, the employee choice brochure plan. I did want to show you this 2019 rate sheet. This is a really nice sheet which shows all of our plans for small group, and then most of our plans for vision, includes all the rates. So it's just a nice quick cheat sheet, if you will, so you don't have to dig into the product brochure if you just need some quick rates. So that's on there. And let's see, go back. All right. Then also on this section of the website here, you can see here are all of our dental plans, and this is really nice. I use this all the time. You can go in here. Let's look at our PPO Plus Premier Plan B with Ortho. If you click on that, it will bring up the benefit certificate and a link to the plan summary. So that's really nice. You can download this, you can print this, as well as the certificate. So as you can see, it's just a quick pull of information instead of having to wait on it. If you emailed Team Renew, Team Service for something, that would just be quicker. Let's see what else. Oh, and then I wanted to show you Find a Provider here. If you click on that, if you go into the Dental Network dentist area, you can click on General Dentist. Let's go with the PPO Plus Premier Network. I don't want to do it by my current location. Let's just do just pulling up. So you can also change the distance that you would like to include in the information or the data. So you can see here it lists all of the different providers within the 5071 zip code within that network within 15 minutes or miles, about 15 minutes too. And then you can click on Add All to My List. That's what I typically do. And then you can go to My List here in the upper right-hand corner. You can print this information, you can email it, or you can, if you want to take it to a meeting, you can make it a PDF. And here it looks really nice and clean with the address, information, all that good stuff. So that's very quick and a great tool as well. All right, Lynn, that's all I think I had for today. And so if you're ready, we can go ahead and open it up to any questions that the team has.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks, Courtney.
Okay.
A lot of information, very thorough, and that's great. So, hey, folks, if you've got some questions or comments, please go ahead and type them in. And looks like the first question we have is more of a clarifying question. Can you just clarify, maybe go back to that waiting periods page that you had, Courtney, and just maybe give an example of the waiting periods, because a typical one is where somebody might be coming off of a Blue Cross and Blue Shield medical plan where they had some sort of dental coverage. So regardless of the carrier, I think this is one thing that might make you guys a little unique. So the question really is around giving an example or clarifying if somebody does come off of an employer group plan and they're going on to whether it's an individual or a small group Delta dental plan, either one of those, right? But specifically, let's talk individual. So they're leaving a group plan and coming on to an individual plan. Clarify the waiting periods.
Sure. So if they are leaving Blue Dental and come to us, as long as they had similar like coverage within 6 months, we would be able to credit them. So for example, if they came off that, let's assume the plans are very similar. That's the first thing, and I can't give an example. Yeah, that's the first thing. but typically they are these, usually that's not a hiccup in the process. But as long as they had, for example, if they had endo services available and they got off the plan, let's say in November, and they came to us March 1st. So if they had it through end of November, then let's see, we would go ahead and credit that coverage, so they wouldn't have the six-month waiting period. So that basically about 3 months or so would be credited that if they had coverage for at least say 3 months, we would credit that towards the 6-month waiting period. Now, if they did have coverage for over say 6 months or over, then they wouldn't have a waiting period for endo.
So that's kind of what I want to clarify, because generally speaking, when folks are coming off of a group plan, it's light coverage and they've had it for at least a year, if not longer. And generally, we coordinate the effective date. So if they came off a group plan on, I'll just make up the date, right, March 1, they're getting your plan March 1. So there's no lapse in coverage. It's been light coverage. They've had it for, years, we'll say. I guess the clarifying is then there should be no waiting periods.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's only if, the opposite of that happens, where an individual, say, didn't have coverage for, say, a year or so. That's when those waiting periods come into play. And the key there is we don't want to have to kind of cover those services and then we take a huge hit because they didn't have the basics services that they needed to have. And that's just to kind of protect ourselves from a claims perspective. So that's why that's in place. But if typically that's the case for your agents and they had coverage, absolutely, they will not experience any waiting period.
And that is a differentiator, I believe, from other carriers out there marketing dental products, just saying.
Right.
That a lot of them won't credit other carriers' prior coverage. So that's good. And then the proof that you want to see, what is typical that you see in terms of somebody providing proof that they've had this coverage? What format do you like to see that in?
Yeah, if they have, if they can submit the plan information, anything that they have that basically shows their plan information, if they can send that over. I'm trying to think, so I'm trying to think what other carriers would probably utilize, but basically their benefit summary, that would probably work. Yeah,
okay. Nope, that sounds good. Okay, another question or comment is just, good stuff. Would like help with the URLs. Yep. And I'm going to say Erica today, because Kaylee's out today, but Kaylee in our marketing department can be helpful as well. So I'm just directing you guys to Erica today if you need help with your URL. And that's on the individual side for either the individual product or the individual Farm Bureau product. Great. Okay. It doesn't look like there's any other questions at this time. I guess I'll wait and give them one more opportunity to type in, but maybe if you want to just provide any closing remarks, Courtney, that would be great, and we'll wrap up.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you everyone for your time. And as I mentioned, we're just really excited to be working with you and continue this partnership in 2019. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need clarification, support on anything. But that said, I hope that this hopefully gives some clarification to our plans and helps make you feel more comfortable with the tools you have available to be successful. So thank you again. I do really appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Courtney. And everybody, obviously, reach out to our team. They've got this information as well. So if you have any questions, just give us a holler. So thanks, everyone, for your time. Courtney, thank you. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.